Let's do it. It's going really well. Thanks, Griffith. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing a left-only run. We're a one-sided run. Since you guys completed that challenge. Let's make that happen. So this is a one-sided run. Or did you guys want it as a challenge? Normally I do it as a challenge that you guys can be part of. We'll do it after this run. My apologies. I'll get another one set up though. Get my copy pasta, so this happens fairly quickly. Look at that. Panz organized. I don't think that's ever happened. What's the goal been on those? It's only been 100,000 on those, haven't they? There we go. Set the points that are available to put in for the next one. Cool. All right, let's get this one out of the way, and then I'll do the one-sided run after this one. That was the fourth one. So yeah, we'll play that. For this one, we have a little fade with imps. Days Talos. I hate Days Talos. Ragefell. Impatient of Seraph. 2 Moldeds. That's really nice. We get spikes, hidden passage, and an entrapment. Let's go. We got some imps. Let's do that. Spikes could be actually bad though, right? No? Let's go with no. And I did an endless last time. Do I endless here? I don't think we do. I see you lurking there, cat. Chipping in towards Panz playing games. How was your weekend? I'll go ahead and take this because we should be able to kill everything and get some spiky stuff happening. We want to get holdover on the moldeds. This is tough because we need to get you need to get these reforms in, but we also need to get kills. We can just let that one go because we're probably not going to get it, right? So we can either kill him and leave the 2 imps alive, which means we're guaranteed to mold Fade next turn. Or we put Fade second and we don't kill this one. And then we don't kill that one anyway. We'd have to kill it with an imp higher up. Maybe killing it with an imp higher up is better. No, I think guaranteeing it. Oh. Okay, so here's a problem. It actually goes off twice. It doesn't hit for 20, it hits twice. So we actually get both the kills if we do that, and that's bad. Alright, so we do this. Do we not play? Okay, then we put that up the top as a safety. Oh, that's so good. Now, if we don't play this, we have to remold Fade back. Which I think is the play. Okay. If we take 12 damage, we get both of those. Yeah, Ratatoupe, I just sort of quickly calculate it out and see what happens. Yeah, 12 damage is fine for that, right? There's no other way we can do anything with it. If we lift another one, we just... She dies anyway. Yeah, it's pretty much... Well, we play the steward at front, and he takes 2 hits. We take 1 hit, and then punch in for 19 here. And then we could possibly get the slays with an imp. And take no damage, but only get 1 slay. I think I prefer being dead because it means we get to reform on the boss lane though. We take 12. Well, there's nothing about we do about it now. So now we just put the the steward on top or bottom. And we're going to want to leave that room for Fade anyway. So we don't want to put the steward there. Or we leave him because we don't want to have him in the mix. We don't want to have him in the mix. We could put him here. We leave him. top deck the molded. It's not good. So we do like 107, 102. Wagner, how you doing, man? What's going on, buddy? Hit in for 11 twice, because we get hit twice first, and then so we'll be on 22. Stuart would have hit in once, be 27. Then Fade hits in for 35, is 62. We get hit for another, and then he hits in for 7, be 67. Fade gets hit for 11, then we kill, we get the Slay. Can we take another molded here? I mean, we want to get a holdover on the molded, right? That's got to be the deal. But I want to be playing these imps. Like, 20 damage is big on the imps. Means we have to go to a Hellhorned banner, though. Yeah, but we don't want to miss champ reforms. How are we going to be removing the imps, though? Okay, so we don't want the molting imps. Until Seraph. In which case, then we can... we're happy to molt the Shade Wings, because hopefully Fade will be pretty spiky by then. Yeah, that's true, right? If Fade's going to get the kill anyway, just put it behind Stuart and Stuart dies. That's a much smarter way of thinking about it. Yeah, Molting Imp is so good in the last fight of the game. Like, until then, not so good, right? What does it do for us in the meantime? Daedalus do we have? Oh, it's Talus. So having units that can chump for us are pretty good. I guess Talus is just going to get spiked anyway. I'm going to take it. I think having one instead of not having one is what we want. Summon twice. Is there anything that summons on other than imps? And plants? No. No, they don't count. Okay. Big steelworker just up the top gaining armor. We probably get, what, 4 turns out of him? Large paraffin. If Fade was, oh look at that. If Fade was had multi, I think they'd be happier with that. Good stuff. Is that haste? No, okay. Can we enemies each floor? We can enemies each floor, right? Apparently not. That should be okay. We only take 6. Do you want a dead steward in the mix? Just couldn't draw an imp, could you, game? Is it imp? So we get both kills on this floor. We'll get both kills on both floors. So let's leave it like that, yeah? Oh, this is good. Huh. Do I want to chunk that? I can get all of those. Sure. You go up to the pyre and die? Where are we at? We are way out in front. Like, this is a huge number already. I think the last one we had, we were at 25 after Daedalus. And we pulled that one out. And the one before that was 31 after Daedalus. We take a descent. You can move Fade around and stuff. Move other units around. I'll just grab another Marlin. Are we just getting rid of the imps? It's like, just get rid of it. Just ignore the Ashes of the Fallen and... Ignore that though. 2 hidden passages and a drip fall is probably enough. I didn't take the drip fall. 3 hidden passages, no. I'd probably take a welder helper. And just burn out the welder helper up top. Maybe, I don't know. No. I'm going this way instead of trying to find something for imps. Oh, let's give that to our boy. Huh. I wonder if she's going to break the Slay record. I'm pretty sure it's at 111. Which was almost everything. Slay trigger's 111. Right. I don't like how he doesn't resolve. Give him his armor. That'd be mean. Hi. It's conspiracy. Does Spike damage trample? I don't believe so, but the return when she go later in the game, when she's got more hit points than what's coming in, she'll hit her return hit will trample. We needed more though, because Talus is hitting. Spike's 45. Man, she's cleaning up. Not enough hit points though to get the slay on this one. That is... That is a lot of slayage. That's more than double what we've had after this fight in previous wins. So where's the win in? 120. Hey boys, how you doing, man? 120 wide, 122. Hits in, that's a slay at the front. I think armor's okay here. Trying to do an expert challenge early. You died on Seraph 3 times. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, Formless is probably that's not necessary. That's kind of funny though. We actually want hit points on her. And the Formless doesn't give us the hit points. We'll take an armor though. Bad but super funny. One where you start with a steward artifact, X stewards, along with a scroll that puts 4 random units on the middle floor. Ah, yeah. I think I tried to make stewards get that win so many times, and then eventually I just dumped the stewards as quickly as I could and got good units. I've got a section on my YouTube that's just the expert challenges in the monster train section on the front page. The last 5 are all exactly the same strategy though. We just take draw? I mean, it just doesn't matter anymore, does it? Like, the issue is like, do we just, like, we've got to go for that slay number. Adding Expert Challenge DLC in the future would be a great way additional content for the game. Well, that's what they've been doing, yeah. They just put in, you know, select a certain set of modifiers that are already in the game, and I mean, we don't even need a dupe. I'm pretty sure they'll add more expert challenges along the way every time they do it. Rid of stews. I could have -1 the thing. I should have done that. Something meaty. Yeah. So if I was playing just as a gamer, I wouldn't spend $5 on expert challenges. Do we want extra alloy of the ancients just to keep her alive? If they do it as a streamer, I'll get them so that you guys can see the stuff. I think they're using the... It sort of feels like they're using the sales surge from each patch that they're dropping to fund the next development cycle. Like these guys, it feels like they've got a really solid business plan. If I had something like 20 or 30 expert challenges, nah. Because they're not. Most of them have been luck based. I just used Wildenton and Wild Sap for the last 5, and the first 15, you know, half of them just felt like casino rolling. You had to develop a strategy that would win, and then you just kept restarting until you got the cards that you needed to make it with the clans. And even then, sometimes you just got punished because they were hard, or it steamed roll because it was easy. I think putting it at COV 25 and calling him expert, one is an insult to experts because it's not. There's just too much randomness involved. But also it meant that the community that's just starting can't get something out of it. They should have just made them challenges, not put a covenant restriction on them, let anyone go in, and then you'd probably, instead of fine-tuning a lot of strategies for it, you'd probably just play it. Like I would have just played it and had fun. But what they did was borderline Act 4-ing, like Slay the Spire type of deal, where you had to just, you know, pick some brain-dead strategy that, you know, and just force it to work in a game that is supposed to reward playing each game on the fly and adapting to the conditions that laid out. It just left too narrow a victory margin. So I definitely wouldn't be buying a pack. You know, like I said, I will if they do something like that as a streamer. I will buy it and demonstrate it to everyone, and we can watch me do 20 to 30 new runs as Wildenton, as Soulguard with Wildwood Saps, and just Soul Shark every single one of them. Yeah, I just think. Other than that. So I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to go to another magic. Oh no, actually, that's. The fun to play just need to remove the restriction, or come up with something like really different, you know, outside of the regular, the norms of the game. What if Monster Train brought in an Act 4 equivalent? I'd just stop playing straight away. I would probably pull out if they announced it. And just save time. If we get Alloy, that's too easy. If we get any of the imps, it's a little okay. This is a tough one to take on turn 1. We have heaps of health though. Let's just do it, don't be scared. It's not the greatest. So where this is funny, if we got Trample, right, on this turn, I'd play Steelworker at the front, put Little Fate at the back, and she would trample through all of them, and just watch her attack go up. Might not be enough to get the kill like there, though. But then I could use some imps to sort of weaken some other things. Like use the imps just to bring them down below her number. Gotta get a reform. Took an extra 2 there because if I get a mold, yeah, we do this. We only get 2 of them, so she gets 2. Now we take 8. If I use the imp, she only gets 1, but we kill the last one. So it depends whether I want to take the 8 for 2 slays. Or take none for 1 slay. I mean, we're going for more slays, aren't we? Yeah, but if I put the imp behind her, we still only... That's what I was saying. If I put the imp behind her, we still only get 1 slay. Because the one that hits her will be hitting for 6. And it'll kill her straight away. And then Steelworker will kill the last one. Whereas at the moment, she's getting 2 kills. But Steelworker's dying. So it comes down to whether we care about Steelworker or not. The other thing is we've got 3 reform cards, which doesn't look great. So should I be just killing one of these off? No. We can mean greedy. Maybe I should have, because that means Steelworker's in the mix now. Never mind. Oh, that's fine. I don't need the reform pool. I've got a holdover molded now. However, I think... Do we lose trample on the reform? Dang. Alright, so we just play that. It's not damage or attack. Which is the issue. See, the reason her spikes is staying around is because it's on the card. Oh, that's interesting. We're gonna be okay here. That doesn't look very good. Yeah, burnout gets written to the card as well. But only the burnout that you gain from a reform gets written to the card. It's like when you get the +3 artifact, that gets added onto your base, and every time you reform, your base goes up by 1. But it's kind of weird because you play it as like a 6, play Rector as a 6 stealth, and when you if you bring him back, whether he burns out or died, he comes back as 7 because his base goes from 3 to 4. Yeah, it's a weird thing, especially with the health and damage. I don't like how this is going. Actually, so I would take a wickless recruitment. I think that's, or a lot of armor. I mean, she's getting tanked though, right? Like she's just swelling up. Crushing Demise is needed? No, we need her getting as many slays as possible. Right, they're permanent upgrades. It's the wrong Seraph for this fight too. Like, any multi-hitting Seraph, except for Cleanse, because that's the Cleanse one's not so bad because your spikes come back again, but still pretty bad. Are you keeping tally? Oh man, okay. Eleven died by 3. Yeah, but at the start it was only, is it 2 or 1? We've only had 1 round when it's spikes 3. I think for the first 60 odd it was 2. Yeah, I think we were like 30 slays just to get to circle after circle 3, and then like another 10 or something. 12. So it's not too much more, right? This comes down to, like, flat out, what is our turn 1 damage? Harvesters have... That guy gets armor, though. So we've got to do, like, 115 to the first guy. And she's on 111. So we do that when we reform the first... The problem with this one is that we've got to do it over 3 levels. I don't know what the theoretical max is. It's something you can calculate. Like, you just pick the enemies that have the most, like the fights that have the most enemies throughout them, and pick the Seraph fight that's got the most, and then you just add them all up. But there is a distinct number of enemies. Like this fight, for example, has 13 enemies and a boss. Right, whereas one of the other fights on, like, the Hidden Assault team is 14 enemies and a boss. Yeah, but That's true. So you just calculate that, Gru, and that gives you your maximum. Enemies start on every floor, adds enemies to the top middle floor on turn 1. So we just need to draw an armor in the first 3 turns, I think. Oh. Okay. Then you got to factor in, like, do you get collector as well? Like if I'd sat on the second floor right now. Like, do I put myself up so we can get collector? Which we don't. Well, we do. If we go up, we get collector. Like we slay collector if we go up. No, I just send Little Fade so she can slay it. We missed that one though. She's only coming back with 6 though. So that's the problem of having the armor, is that we haven't built up the health. So we don't actually kill that one. But we can go higher for that. But we missed that one then. I don't think there's any way we can get that one. I wonder if I'd played an imp, I could block and the trample, she would have got them all. That's how I needed to do that. So go for the bottom floor first and then ascend on top. And then we can make up and get that one. Yeah, that's better. Alright, let's do that. So now we have more health, so we pick up this one. And because we killed the sycophant on the bottom floor, this guy has attack, so he'll attack into the spikes right now. I could just lift up. Poop. The 3 days doesn't leave it down there. Unless I imp. No, but I'm thinking like if I need to, because she's not dying, do I need to do something there? Like send the boss into us not dying? Because otherwise we're going to be on, we're on burnout 3, which isn't very long. Yeah. Yeah, put enemy on 1 hit point. Spell would be good. I don't think so. I want the slays myself. That's right, well, it's got a hey gold, gold. You like gold? You like gold. Are we getting... I think we're potentially getting to a stage where we just want to armor up the dude, like have her up top, armor up, and just get trample. Can we just armor her up on top? Like, that's the thing. Do we have enough turns? And then we just March of Shields the other dude forward? I don't think... Because the toughest thing is that the single hit from Seraph is where it's tough. Like, super tough being a single hit from Seraph instead of... Because 3 hits is a huge DPS gain on Seraph. Especially if you elevate. Like, if you're able to be down on the bottom floor against Seraph and, you know, just go up the floors with him. Like, he takes so much return damage, but not right now. The downside to that is you're taking like 15 damage from every Shadewing. Well, he's taking 15. It depends if you want her to get the slays. Which I think you do, because it just damage up and up and up and up and up. You got to deal with melee weakness as well, though. Oh man. Rage fell. And with hammer, it's 9 armor. Rage fell. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna move up at some point. It's gotta kill that statue as well, right? Yeah. I guess the biggest issue is during the Seraph fight. Do we want? Where do we want to be putting the armor in like this moment of time? I suppose there, right? Because once he goes down, it doesn't matter. We start doing spike damage as well. Yeah. Seriously, where's the welder helpers? I don't want him getting the slay. 14 armor is 2 minutes too much turn, right? He dies, we don't. That's GG. That's... Bounty Stalker, whatever. $192. Okay. I'm pretty sure the last spike win had 200 after we'd finished the Seraph fight. Or thereabouts. Like, it wasn't high. Like... Removing cards is good. Cavern event, 5 times dupe on the armor. That would be the way to go, right? Bounty Stalker is a solid unit, but we've got 2 fights to do stuff. It's a really hard take there. I mean, and not for this run, obviously, but if it was another run where we're like, oh, what are we doing? We just traded 15 health? Sure. If you already had an intent on death because you had another unit, then go ahead, right? And just pump him up. Okay, so we don't make it cost 0 yet. In case there's a double stack and we play it as 1, I think it's better. Dang it. So this is where this comes into it. I think we're going to be going here anyway, so we can wait on it. Let's go ahead and just make that 0, because there's a couple that's expensive. I think you'd need to be desperate at this stage. Like, if you just scraping by and you have no idea where your damage is coming from, you'd take it here. If you're in a comfortable position and you think you can win, it's a hard pick. You also got to look at like what store, like what are you doing with your money? Do you already have a plan you need to put in place? Can you get to enough Merchants of Steel to maybe give it a multi or an endless or a quick? You know, if you're playing like this where we've got a lot of reform, you probably don't need endless, so you only need to really hit multi. Like, you can definitely pump it up from here. You just need to have the right cards, but it's a lot tougher. Like when you see it at you know, circle 2 or 3, you know, it's just like, yeah, you've got all game to bring it up. And then you have a card, like especially, you know, you can be like, okay, now you get intent on death, and you're like, you take it if you've already got a Bounty Stalker. Some people will take an intent on death early because it's such a strong card. That pushes you in a different, you know, a different sort of maxima on your win ratio. You know, where you might pull a win out of runs that other people wouldn't because they don't want to carry a dead weight. I wouldn't take an intent without anything to intent on, even though I know, like, it's amazing, right? But sometimes you don't get intent units. Or what do? You take a Legion of Wax when there's no more Merchants of Steel, that you can go to, because there's probably going to be one in the final 2 circles. But you could have like no gold, and the Merchant of Steel could be in the next circle and not in the last circle. And then what you pick up a Legion of Wax just so you can intent a bunch of 8/8s out. This is interesting. The Pirewings is a very brutal fight. It's going to be... No, the Shadewings is a brutal fight. Okay, let's change what I was about to say. I keep seeing this guy as the double attack Shadewing. He's not. He's the 4 attack sweeper. The Ember Drain doesn't really bother us too much. The fact that having the Steel Wing hit, though, I don't think it matters because our spikes are so high. No, so we kill everything that's behind the Steel Wings, and then hopefully we kill the Steel Wings. Putting this at +8 makes it tough. But as it stands, like, Little Fade on top floor should just be able to kill everything solo. This would be interesting, though. So maybe middle floor. Yeah, and then don't take the trial, because why risk it? And we're not going to need that much money. I think we could comfortably do the trial, but if anything goes wrong, it could go really wrong. That boss hits super hard. This is another really interesting play as well as that. Because of this, we can't play these into that. Just to remove them. 1, 2, 3 from... I'd love to be set up on second floor. I can, because this guy's an idiot. He only hits for 4, and we have 9 armor. Alright. So we just got this. I really started off as an imp run. What is it now? I should have chump blocked. Panz. Yeah, okay, that's lazy. Especially on that one where they were all straightforward hitting. The chump block was on there. Although I think we just win this turn 1 right now. I could lift her. Was I not getting Ember Drain when the Pirewings killed themselves on spikes? Interesting. I didn't know that. I think Fade can Seraph. Alright, so let's do just maths based on where we are right now. We're dealing, let's go with 500 damage a turn. I know it's only 280 84, but it'll be 484, but I'm pretty sure we get the difference in some slays to get to 500 a turn. So we need to last 8 turns solo against Seraph. So we need 160 armor. It's not impossible, right? It's going to be tight. I think if I pay more attention to actually chump blocking where I need to, especially once trample goes down, like we don't have to get spike kills on everything. We can be hitting back. And we don't have to get all the slays. As much as I'd like to see if we can get more slays than that 111, something like dropping a Molting Imp on 2 Shade Wings saves a lot of health. I think one of the biggest things is going to be the melee weakness. So it's only one hit Seraph though, so we don't get, that's the biggest downside, is the fact that it's one hit Seraph. Like if it was any other Seraph, we're hitting for 1,000 a turn. So you got to last 4 turns. Like lasting 4 turns, that's easy. Lasting 8 turns, that's different. Plus it's only starting at 168 armor. Like Seraph's probably going to get ramped somewhere. Slay for an extra 2 attack. Extinguish abilities trigger an additional time, doesn't do anything in Memorial Farm. Close quarters melee, M-E-L-E. Melee. What's a different pronunciation? Is there anything that really stands out to helping this run? Mold braces, maybe. Votive key. The problem with votive key... No, I don't think it works. It kind of does, but we don't come back with more hit points, but we don't have to worry about burnout. So we can just on the last turn just go up behind the other guy. And if he's got enough armor, we just get some free hits in. So that would be what we need to do, is be on like the bottom or middle floor. Build up heaps of armor, fight Seraph on that floor. Jump back, come back again on the next floor, and then go in on top while the Steelworker's got lots of armor. The 5 armor could be okay for... we put an imp down in front of us to block after we've got trample up, and then, you know, we get 5 armor from it. Votive Key helps with the chump blockers as well. Is there anything from Hellhorned? Imsicle could do okay. There was something here we could do as well. We should probably... So we don't want one of those. So we could either get a double stack on the March of Shields would be the best. It would cost 2, but 28 armor's okay for every turn. Or we just make it 0. We don't want to... I don't want to dupe it though for making it 0. Yeah, Light's Gift could do okay to stop our dude up there from taking damage. By the end of the game, he could have a bunch of armor. No, I wonder if this is just better at costing 1 versus a double stack. I don't think that's quite enough to get that damage. What are we going to get? We're going to get like 12 slays, maybe more. Could be end up being like 40 damage if we got 20 slays. 40 damage is a lot, except when you're just single hitting for, and you're already you're looking to get like a kill in 5 or 6 turns. The 40 damage isn't that much. In before we lose to like 200 health. Enemies get 1 less. I mean, kind of weak sauce. Is there anything else at permafrost? I don't think so. The other option is go 2 steelworkers. If you put the little fade behind 2 with a trample, we can't chump. Or any floor could get size reduction. Yeah, it's random, right? I think you just need to chump appropriately, remove these. Right. Bring back the right ones. Yeah, and then and draw our armor a lot more. I really think the melee weakness is going to hurt. I need a way of trying to get the melee weakness on the imps. And not on Little Fade. Is the phrase chum or chump? Good question. I like chump because you put out someone because they're a chump. Chumming is when you put down a whole bunch of like meat and blood pieces in the water when you're fishing for like big game fish, like usually shark, or like maybe even chum if you want to chum the water for alligator. Right, which is kind of what we're doing, right? We're kind of putting little bits of meat out in front for the predators. But I think chump is more appropriate, right? Especially an imp chump. Maybe if you had a card called Imp Guts, that would be chumming. Yeah, I think middle floor with armor, with an imp out the front, so that if Seraph goes there, the imp gets melee weakness. The question though is, do we molting imp these guys dead? Does Seraph put melee weakness before changing floor or after, or potentially either? I'm pretty sure there's a potential for both, and there's something to do with like what floors you set up from. It's an MTG term? Maybe. I never played Magic. The thing is though, Seraph will kill this imp. If we put an imp down here, Seraph kills it. If we want to avoid the melee weakness, I probably shouldn't have played him, but we put one of these out now. We ditch the whole Evermolded. Okay. March of Shields means we can't armor up ourselves here, which is a little... Oh, we can. We can pull ourselves out in front and then play an imp, which I think is the play here. March of Shields, us to the front, play an imp. We get the Slay. I completely forgot about that. Kind of okay with not getting the Slay there, if we're going to be honest. I think I want to just win the run. So I kind of just want to have floors where Seraph can go to instead of always being where we are. Unless we want Seraph to come back to the middle so we can get extra hits in. I didn't save any. Good top. and kill off dude. I feel so bad I just sacrificed him. So we can save him. Okay, so I think the reason we're getting both these kills though, right, is because we're taking a hit. So that's something to think about here, is do we want this kill or not? We kind of need to take the damage off one of them. Yeah, we only need to take the damage from one of them. It's not about the Slay, like I want to kill it so I win the run. Well, I guess letting one leak gives me all the stuff. Is it worth my damage output though? That's true. If I can keep an imp out in front, I don't get the melee weakness. That's a very good point. The downside of it, though, is it means... So I've got to sort of rate, is it worth Seraph coming to the floor? Now, in other fights, you'd say, yeah, bring Seraph to the floor because I can trample and hit Seraph. The downside to Seraph coming to the floor is this Seraph attacks, so you don't gain anything. If anything, you lose because you're only giving trample damage to Seraph, right? Whereas I want to, if Seraph's going to be attacking me, I want it to be one-on-one. So all of my 260 goes into Seraph, not some leftover mess, because all of Seraph's 27 goes into me. So I kind of want to be going on other floors to try and get Seraph to go elsewhere as well. So like putting that... No, I'd have to put both down here. I don't really want to put both down here. I think it's kind of funny though, like that he's still called Seraph the Patient, even though he's grown impatient. Like that should be Seraph the Impatient. Like, Seraph the Patient doesn't grow impatient; he stays patient. There is a chance he goes bottom as well, if we go here. He can go anywhere on this next turn. If I put that on Little Imp, I take 10 anyway, but I get to keep a March of Shields. If I put it on me, I gain some, but then I've got a little Imp behind me. Do I care about having a little Imp behind me? I don't. It does give me something to march, though, if I need to. Even though it changed from minus 15 to minus 25, I gained 14 first. That's a bit of poop. I need to take the melee weakness hit here so I can drop my melee weakness against 10 instead of against 31, hopefully. I'm going to buy armor imps when? Like, poor dude. He's hanging out. He's trying so hard, but that's just too much damage. I can't save you, man. How much armor did we say we needed? Like, this is going to be really close. If we draw that Mortal Entrapment... Well, the 160 was based off Seraph hitting for 20. Seraph's going to be hitting for like 33, maybe, I think, 34. And we're doing... We've got 500 or 550 a turn. We're going to need to last 7 turns. I think we're there. At 276. It's 170. 270, 275. We've got just enough attack to do this. Apparently I don't. And 276 attack, why is that not going through? Oh, it's 80 plus the 15. Oh. We can fix that. Just hit him with an imp. And everybody clapped. Play cards till I lose? I don't know if we could. 1 health. 1 HP is all you need. You know what would have been really good in this run? A 1-horn this time. 111 is the Slay trigger record. I think it's gonna be close. 300 with 296 spikes. Spikes was the killer? That's appropriate though, right? Come on, show it to me. No. No way. It's still 111. Wrathful Champ still gets it. Yeah, the win streak's back on. The loss was to Seraph. A little upset about that. like 6 from 7 with a loss to Seraph. It could have been 111. Don't care. Tied is last. Didn't get it first. Don't own it. It doesn't show in summary, no. Summary doesn't give you squat. It's better than most games, but it's not very good. I'm curious too. Oh, we could... okay. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to. But anyone who looks at what little Fade's spikes were after Talos, and then subtract 1 and divide by 2, and then take the difference of the total and from after Fell, divide by 3, and then subtract and divide by 4, I guess.